So first thing I want to do, I'm gonna go back to an experience I had back in 2010. So it was springtime 2010. This is 15 years ago. This was my second ayahuasca ceremony. So ayahuasca is a medicine. Originates from South America. It's an indigenous medicine. In modern times it has arrived in different parts of the world. And so, how do I describe it? So ayahuasca is a living being. I call her Lady Ayahuasca because she's a female, feminine being. She is a medicine being, and in an ayahuasca ceremony, you go into ceremony with her, and you go on a medicine journey. Very individual. It is a co-creation with the living being of Lady Ayahuasca. So yeah, very individual experience. This experience I'm going to share, this was my second time experiencing ayahuasca. I've experienced ayahuasca 3 times in my life. All of those times were, I think, in that year. They were all 15 years ago or more. I haven't had the call or the need to do that since. Okay, so but 2010, springtime. I'm just going to go straight into my experience, what I experienced in my ceremony that I was participating in with a group of people, with a facilitator, a shaman, and going into communion with the being and spirit of Lady Ayahuasca. And so in this journey, this was for me. This was a very visionary journey. This was a large global experience I had. Just briefly, the first time I experienced going into ceremony with Lady Ayahuasca, I had an extremely deep healing experience. She held me and we worked together on really deep ancestral wounding in me, and it was a really deep internal journey of healing and transformation. The first time I experienced it. The second time was quite different. Still healing, but it wasn't about ancestral wounding. What it was visionary. It was much more visionary and more outward, I guess, even though it was internal visioning. So what I experienced was okay, let's just so I in the vision, I experienced going into meeting, into negotiation and meeting with world leaders at the time, back in 2010. I experienced going into council and meeting with prominent world leader at the time, and we were discussing the rollout of new technologies and new infrastructure on a global level. It was a meeting that was exactly about that. It was people discussing the transformation of infrastructure on planet Earth. And it was it was an incredible experience back in 2010 there, and bewildering as well in the years after. Like, I have, because I've been through so much since 2010, I've kind of put this to the side. It's popped up and a number of times I've put to the side, and I just kind of accept these experiences and just integrate them and bring them home. And now, in these times that we are in just now, in 2025, I can feel some of the energies that I was experiencing back then. It makes more sense now in regard to reality, what's playing out in our world. It makes more sense now than it did then. And it's been like that with a lot of this in visionary work that has happened to me and us in the past, especially in that kind of era. A lot of what was being experienced then is really been more about now. There's been this decade and a half in between of a deep alchemical process, transformation on a personal level and on a global level.